Welcome, everybody. This is Ray of RebelEars.com. I want to thank everybody who's listening to the podcast. So today is actually a special episode because Rebel Ears is now partnered with BonfireATL. So Bonfire is an amazing event that happens every Sunday. All you got to do, type in BonfireATL on Google, and you'll actually see the location. It's on 400 Street. It's actually downtown near Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Going to talk more on the lines of what we're going to be doing with YL and I. You know, we're the founders of RebelEars.com, Rebel Ears, and things of that nature. But another thing we're going to be also discussing, because later on this week I'm having lunch with the Millionaire. Not going to put his information out, but a lot of things been happening when it comes to what we're trying to do. YL and I with Rebel Ears from... You know, we always talked about doing a partnership with somebody, talking about sponsorships, endorsements, investors, building a website, getting in touch with different influencers, social media marketers, and things of that nature. And it's just been working out in our favor. Just thankful for a lot of things that's been going on, and a lot of people been listening to Rebel Ears, the podcast, reading the blogs on the website, even buying packs and downloading the ebooks, and hitting me up on social media for, information on, how to mix, master, record, being consistent, working with a group of people that you're not familiar with to, how to book a venue, how to book a show, how to, make a show CD, because a lot of artists, a lot of engineers too don't know how to make a show CD. So a show CD is basically, let's say the artist just recorded a song, right? And they might be under a label and they're going to be touring soon. So, of course, you're going to need a show CD. So a show CD might be like, for an average artist, especially if they're major, it might be like a 45 to an hour set, an hour or two. And basically the show CD will have, a mixture of all the songs. Depending on the engineer who makes the show version, it might be, how I have it set up. It'll be simple as... the first thing you'll have your hooks, depending on how you come in, your hook or your verse, intro, depending on what it is. With the hook, I keep that in because it gives the energy. Now, when it comes to the lead, the vocals, like the verse, 1 or 2, 3, I always take the lead out and lead the ad-libs or the outs. The reason why I do that, because it gives more energy when you listen to the artist. You don't really want to hear their song that you heard on the radio so many times. You want to actually hear the energy, the delivery of the artist on stage at the moment you're there. So a show CD is easy to make. Sometimes you got to think of like ways to make it. Of course, like when you get on stage, what's the first thing you're going to do? Are you going to introduce yourself? Are you going to introduce yourself at the end of the set? I always tell everybody, when you first come on stage, introduce yourself. Tell everybody, thank you for coming. Shout out to DJ, shout out to host, shout out to promoter, whatever, the owner, whoever you know in the venue, because of course you want to network. You always want to let people know who you are within 10 seconds. So I will get on stage. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm Ray of RebelEars.com. Here we go. Or, social media, you might just present that. Just let people know your brand. And then with the show CD, what I'm going to do, I would go ahead and, have a little silence in the middle for like 10 to 15 seconds, or have a beat play in the background until the first track starts. So the first track, let's say it starts with a hook. So the hook, of course, you'll keep that in, and when the verse comes in, you take the lead out. And when you go to the next song, the way you would do that, you might have a transition from the beat dropping, or it shuts off, like just cut, or even like explosion in the background or gunshot, ways to transition to the second song. Or you can have it, I'm trying to find the best way to describe this. So it's basically transitioning from one song to the next. I know one artist, Lil Peep, does it a lot with his songs. The song will sound muffled, like it's like a low pass filter, and it's just, changing the frequency in and out, and then it'll transition to the second song. That's one way of doing it. It's more in depth than that. That's a way to do it. Let's say you have a set for 15 minutes. What you would do, you would go ahead and think of how many songs you have. Let's say 3 to 4 songs, 3 minutes, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So That could be 5 songs if you just do every song. Or what I would do 4 songs or 3 songs. Give enough time to introduce yourself. Make sure you have it set up that it transitions to the next song, and you do your set quick. Make sure you engage with people out there, because of course with the show CD you're giving them energy and presence, but of course you want to interact with people too. A lot of people forget to interact. And I know dealing with COVID, it's hard to really interact at this moment, but there was a time when you go on stage and you just touch the hand of a fan, like automatically you made their night, because of course they came. Like, it depends on the artist you are. Are they paying to see you? Because if they are paying to see you, or if they paying to like see what's going on at the venue, at the bar or a live event, give them a show. Always focus on giving a show, especially if this is your career. If it's your hobby, that's something that you can do, but it really works out, especially if you're focusing long term and building that way. So, of course, like I said, Bonfire, working with that, with YL and I, with Rebel Ears, working with Bonfire. Got a lunch with a millionaire this week, and I'm excited for her. That was just random. The third one I'm going to talk at the end is going to be the Rebel Ears plugins. So it's basically going to be a 2-day kind of music conference that's going to be live stream October 2nd and 3rd. So it's going to be a Friday and Saturday. It's going to be a lot of individuals we're going to be interviewing, asking them questions on their background, how they got to where they at. So some of it's going to be multi-platinum engineers, producers, artists who got their songs on multiple shows, music license, get your songs on placements. A lot of things we're going to be discussing on that. So it's just a lot of things that we're focusing on from Bonfire. The lunch next week. So the lunch, let me go ahead and tell you this. So the best way for me to tell you how to build in life, you want to focus on, of course, having mentors. Focus on your health, your wealth, and your education. Go ahead and make time for someone you are interested in, picking their brains. Like, I know for a fact there's a lot of speakers in the world who get paid up to $500,000 to speak to a big audience, and to have an interview with them or even sit down with them, it might cost like $5,000 to $10,000 just to sit with them. So the best way for me to get my point across whenever I'm meeting somebody, especially if it's something that I want to learn or know, I will actually pay for their lunch. So this guy, a little about his background, he deals with real estate. He has his own company, deals with marketing, very knowledgeable and young too. So it's someone that I want to, pick his brains on the aspect of, how did he get to where he's at? Who put him towards this direction he's at, or was it all within him? Some people he's involved with, like if he has mentors, because I love talking about my mentors. Like one of mine is Steve Abicki. Now he deals with me mixing, recording, getting better on my craft as an audio engineer. My friend R.A., he actually deals with my my physical, like fitness wise. So it's good to have a mentor when it comes to like bettering yourself physically. So we're doing calisthenics workouts, and I love it being outside in the park and working out that way. It's very beneficial, especially like he is a very intellectual individual. So he actually got this workout routine that we've been doing in the park because they got an outside gym. It's called Fibonacci Alchemy. So Fibonacci, just going off of what it is basically counting the last number with the number you are on. So 1 1 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, because it goes from 1, then you had the last one was 1, that's 2. Okay, so 2 and the last one was 1 will be 3. Okay, 3 with the last one that was 2 would be 5. 5 with the last one that was 3 would be 8. So it goes that way. And we got as high as 34, and it's good to break barriers, because first I couldn't even get past 13. Now I'm just doing it with a breeze. And these are stuff like Fibonacci was actually an individual. You can look up the history on how they came up with the Fibonacci sequence, if I'm correct. And I'm just doing more studies on things in life that I might not know. So that was something with one of my mentors when it comes to my physical. I'm looking for a mentor when it comes to investment, like, learning more about real estate, learning more about investing in yourself, stocks, bonds. I'm also focusing on a mentor when it comes to music business, because that's a big thing. So in the near future, I'm going to be having an interview with Daryl Branch, and he was one of my instructors at SAE when I was going to school there, and he was very knowledgeable, has a lot of credits. His recent one, I do know, Pop Smoke, one of his biggest hits, one of them was Many Men by 50 Cent, and he worked with like Jay-Z, Jennifer Lopez, a very dope producer, Grammy-nominated producer. Other mentors I have, but I would tell an individual to think of trying to have at least 5 mentors that deals with something you're interested in, something you don't know, something that you want to know, just things of that nature. So if you focus on that, it will get easier. And then the Rebel Ears plugins event. So this is going to be very dope. I'm actually excited. Me and YO actually sat down, came up with a list of individuals we wanted to, just pick their brains on, just like I'm going to pick the brains of the Millionaire next week when we have the lunch. So I do know we're going to be coming out with the post next week, because we're going to get people prepared for it. So every week you're going to see like different posts on rebelears.ray, rebelears.yl, rebelears.post, BonfireATL. Those are the IG accounts. You can go on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, Twitter, and just type in Rebel Ears and you'll see the page. Rebelears.com. We're going to be posting the live stream on there too. Got more packs coming out. It's just a lot that we got going on. Just trying to stay organized too. That's a big thing. I tell a lot of people, make sure you stay organized. Make sure you plan for what you're trying to do. Because I was telling YL, I think a few days ago, we was just sitting down and just putting everything together. We got a lot that we need to accomplish, but we on the right path of getting everything done, because we got multiple calendars, Google Calendar. I got a physical big calendar, a desk size. I got a regular notepad calendar planner that I keep in my bag. I even got a pocket size calendar planner that I keep with me. I even use, like I said, Google Calendar on my phone. It helps me to stay organized. I keep the notifications on my laptop. I try to be a precise person when it comes to getting things done. Some things I'll take the blame for. Like, good example, with the podcast, I haven't had an episode released in like 2 months. The reason why we've been working so much on the website, the new partnership with Bonfire, setting up the different accounts social media wise. So everything is still new, but every day is a progression. So of course we do have, like I said, we do have the website that's out. We do have all these different social medias. This podcast is one of the recent ones. The next one that's going to come out, I might go ahead and include a free template when it comes to, let's say, mixing, okay? As time goes by, of course, I'm going to give away recording templates. So this is going to be something that you can expect next week. Check the next podcast to get your free template when it comes to mixing. With this one, I'll probably just stick with the basic. It's going to be a few stock plugins on Pro Tools and probably 1 or 2 Waves plugins just to keep it basic. And these are going to be the ones that you can just, pay for on waves.com. I believe that's it. It deals with, plugins. I already know Waves Audio is their IG. Shout out to Waves. Like, it's a great company, especially when it comes to plugins. Of course, on the website, rebelears.com, we got the 10 quick tips to be a successful audio engineer that I actually wrote myself. My experience as an intern at Castle Hill Studios, going to school for audio engineering, to being an assistant engineer for a multi-platinum engineer. So it was a lot that I learned. I built over 100 stages, so that just shows that I have a lot of experience on different aspects. Like, I can look at a blueprint and see exactly how they mapped out the stage, on where the sound's gonna go, where the video's gonna go, where the pyro's gonna go, the stage setup. It's a lot that I'm thankful for, but there's still a lot of opportunities out here that people are not taking advantage of. with Rebel Ears, we're trying to work with people who are moving forward. The time, the dedication you put in, depending on who you work with, it'll be beneficial for you. So, of course, mentors, Bonfire, amazing event. You should go look it up. It's still going on. The lunch next week, I'm going to go in depth, I guess, in 2 weeks from now when it comes to, what the lunch consisted on, what we talked about, plans that I do have, people I'm working with. Don't forget the Rebel Ears plugins event is going to be October 2nd and October 3rd, and it's going to be live stream, and of course it's going to be on YouTube too, so even after the live stream you can go ahead and watch it. It'll be on the Rebel Ears YouTube account, so you just go to Rebel Ears YouTube and you'll see it. I want to thank everybody for listening, because right now I'm trying to remember, right now it's literally 6 o'clock in the morning, because I've been up trying to get a lot of things done. Came up with a few ideas for Bonfire, a few ideas for the meeting. I've just been up trying to get a lot of things done, but I am focused and driven. And I just want to thank everybody who listened to the podcast right now, because right now I'm by myself, tired, but I know you listening amped up. And, it could be, it might be 6 in the morning, might be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, might be 8 at night. But the thing is, you taking the time to listen to me. And like I said, next week, to show my appreciation, I want to go ahead and give you a free mixing template when it comes to Pro Tools. Now, like I said, this template is going to be like your basic template to just start off with. This is easy to understand. Like, even I was talking to Henry with the 3, because he's going to start using Pro Tools now more often, because right now he used Logic Pro and he's amazing with it. He learned that from Justin Padron. Shout out to Justin. And I remember he was talking to me about using Pro Tools more soon, and I was telling him, if he wants to, get a template, I'll provide him one. I know he's probably going to have like a similar template like the one on Logic, possibly if he makes it himself, and if he needs help, of course, I'm there to assist. It's just fun knowing that, you create something, like something as simple as a template is, in it to an extent, is your ownership, because like I can sell you a template. I will in the near future, but what I want to do, I want to provide you with value, with insight, and the best way to do that, I can go ahead and provide you a template to go ahead and help you on the foundation of mixing. And then depending on if you want to go more in depth, like, there's different companies with plugins, from Fab Filter to Ozone to Waves to UAD, Apollo. Like, UAD is like hands down one of the best plugins I ever used. And YL and I, we used it on a lot of tracks. I know, okay, just an insight. So on the track on Mike Will made his Ransom 2 album, it was a song that I worked on with Steve Hibicki, my mentor, called Gucci on My. So this one was with 21 Savage, YG, and Migos. And I remember YG had this plugin that was from UAD. It was the SSL, I think the E channel, but I'm not going to tell you the ranges, but that just shows you some insight on, like, these are top quality plugins that the top engineers are using for the major artists out there. So that was just an insight on a plugin that YG used. So, there you go. Other than that, like I said, thank you for listening. This is Ray at RebelEars.com. Just want to say thank you for listening to the podcast, going to the website, reading the blogs, buying our presets, buying our packs, reading our books, even being a sponsor on the podcast. So from everybody at Rebel Ears, just want to say thank you and keep tuning in.